Joe, thanks very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Simon.
What do you see as the key challenges in the industry this year?
Actually, it's interesting. We've been circulating around the show here, and we've been finding out there's a lot of challenges between consistency and transparency between the sourcing folks and a lot of their internal customers, as well as having to manage suppliers. So they're kind of in a rock and a hard place situation. Really.
And what is it that IDC brings to the table in providing solutions to those challenges?
Well, what we're finding is that if we can provide data and insight to them that's based upon facts and precedents, it really helps them because it's putting not opinions on the table but facts. And it's hard to argue with facts. They say truth doesn't refute truth, right? So if they can base upon that, it's helping the relationships between them. Leads to cost savings for them, leads to better performance for the company, and a lot more integration where we're a company as opposed to I'm a department.
Tell us a little bit about the presentation you've just given here at ProcureCon Indirect.
So what we were talking about was some case examples where they could see where this kind of data can be applied. So best cases, so other organizations that have implemented these kind of holistic approaches where they can drive cost savings but also drive innovation, which is the thing. It's really tough in this market with a down economy. There isn't limitless revenue available. So we were showing some examples of that, how their roles have emerged and how their roles are going to continue to emerge and how they're going to be even more important to organizations' innovative future.
Can you just give us a taster of one of those examples that you presented?
Yeah, so we talked, for example, where there was a consolidation by an organization named Vodafone, and basically what they had done was they created a whole big sourcing department, worked with IDC to consolidate a lot of their spend analysis to find out, so in aggregate, what could we do? So instead of the department approach, the corporate approach. And what they ended up doing was driving out €250 million from their cost. And it led to a improvement in shareholder value for the organization.
Tell us a little bit about the presentation you gave this afternoon and the kind of response you got to the topics.
So what we're talking about is a little bit about what IDC does as a third-party objective research firm. So what we're doing is working with literally hundreds of companies on benchmarking on their sourcing specific to IT. So we were showing some case examples on how organizations were working on integrated company versus departmental approach, so more holistic, so they can drive innovation investments through the cost savings that they're generating. So we gave a couple examples there, show how at IDC was a best practice in this area, and then breakouts after, hopefully, for the more details.
Can you give us a little taster of the kinds of examples you gave? Is there one specific company that springs to mind?
Yeah, there was a case study we presented on Vodafone who had a real severe situation with their cost management. What they ended up doing is getting together as a corporation once we showed them what the potentials were to be able to save money and have a holistic buying experience. So what they ended up doing was creating a big sourcing community, much like the peers here, and they benchmarked their deal, consolidated, and they drove out €250 million in 18 months. So it led to improvement in shareholder value and much better innovation for the organization.
I'm sure you're a busy guy, but you've taken 3 days out of your schedule to come down here this year. What is it, do you think, brings people to ProcureCon Indirect year on year?
I think it's it's the quality of the peers, the presentations, the ability to network amongst folks and learn new techniques, maybe validate some of the ones that they're doing, get to lovely London and all this wonderful weather we've had. But yeah, I think it's really about the intelligence of the group, and the peer networking is really the single biggest thing above all.
Joe, thank you very much.
Thank you, Simon.